But how about this? So there's some people that are living in the past here, or at least thinking that this Ravens team from 2019 is the same that it is right now. And I don't blame it, but I think it's a little outdated. And what I'm bringing up here is Taylor Lewan, former Titans offensive lineman, was up with Kay Adams talking about that there is a blueprint to stop Lamar Jackson, but he was talking about a moment that happened almost 5 years ago. So let's play the clip for a second.
An incredible team, but there is a formula to beat Lamar, unfortunately, and it's making him go east to west and make him throw the football. With Pat, it's kind of like you plaster guys and keep dudes in coverage and hope to God you get to him with 3 or 4. And so it's very difficult playing Pat. And if you have the right athletes from Kansas City, which they could, you could neutralize Lamar Jackson a little bit more with that running capability.
So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna take this one. I'm actually surprised that Taylor took this angle. Co-host of Bustin' with the Boys, they know ball. And I'm just surprised that he took this approach. Everybody has tried to say this, especially this year, just make Lamar throw the ball, just make Lamar throw the ball. We've seen that Lamar knows how to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out there throwing darts. I was just very surprised by that. And if you force him to throw the ball, they can still beat you. And we got the weapons as well. Mark Andrews is going to be back this week. So like that take was like maybe 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
At that point. So that made no sense to me at all. That take is just garbage.
Yeah. It kind of, like you said, was a little disappointing because those guys, I love listening to them because they do know ball. They have such great insights from inside how the organizations work, how different things are supposed to go. And if Taylor Lewan would have come out there and said, there's a script, there's a blueprint to beat Lamar Jackson, and he started to, get him to go east and west. And if he would have rattled off 5 or 6 things, giving examples, I wouldn't agree with him still, but it's okay. You have your opinion from what you're saying. For him to go, well, look what we did in 2019. When Lamar Jackson, it was his second year, he was 22 years old. That's where it's like, come on. Like if you want to say you think there's a way to beat him and then you give valid points that have happened, one, in the current year we're talking about beating Lamar Jackson, that's one thing. I just felt it was a little tired to be like, yeah, no, I mean, look what we did in 2019, because that's a completely different Lamar Jackson. He's evolved so much as an all-around player since then.
Yeah.
I just feel like I felt like we moved past those narratives almost. Like I felt like, sure, Lamar's not a perfect player, but if you want to criticize him, at least go based off of who he is today. And why do we have to go back to a version of Lamar that, again, that was his first full season starting?
I mean,
yes.
It's because Taylor Lewan was on the Titans and they all got chips on their shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, and because Marcus Peters danced on his logo. That's why. Like that's exactly why he said it.
They danced on ours first. Yep. Thank you.
That is true.
Right.
That is true.
Oh, you were there to dance on the logo. Did you dance on the logo?
I was in the box. I was there, but no, I did not. I was in the box.
He did not participate.
I was on practice squad that year. So.
Oh,
practice squad, stand up.
That's me. I'm not getting up.
No. Don't act
that guy with the hurt. Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, don't actually get up, but that could be a part of the rehab too. But Kevin, continue your point.
Yeah, and so it's again going back, and why do we have to say these things about Lamar and say that was his first full year starting? He led the team to a 14-2 record that year, and that was a younger team. So why do we have to go back to that version of Lamar? Why don't we go back to a younger version of Mahomes? Why don't we go back to a younger version of Allen? And those weaknesses that are 3 or 4 years old, they only seem to be talked about with Lamar. And we've seen Lamar in moments, right? He's somebody who elevates other guys. And I'm not saying Mahomes doesn't do any of this stuff. Both of them are great quarterbacks. When you put out a blueprint for somebody, saying that a blueprint of 3 or 4 years ago is still good today, when we have seen Lamar grow as a player, the decision-making, everything from him has been so good this season. And for me, Mahomes is a great player. If you want to talk about accolades, Mahomes has the 2 Super Bowls, right? That's what Lamar's trying to get to. But if you talk about who's the best quarterback playing in the NFL right now, who is playing the best, it's Lamar Jackson. And there's not a guy I'd take over him right now based off how he's playing right now, not how he played 4 years ago, not how he played in one singular playoff game. It's about where we are in the moment. We talked about it with Lamar versus Ray Lewis. It's in the moment. Where are we in the moment? And right now we're talking about a player that all those narratives back in 2019, not a lot of them exist anymore. And the Ravens actually, against Houston on Saturday, dispelled even more of them because they ended up throwing a lot of them to the curb based off of what they did.
Yeah, Nick, I'm just curious here. And we talked a little bit about it with you, but now we're here. It's the AFC Championship game. It's well documented. You can feel in the locker room that this is what people are holding on to for a while. Like people can say they can keep out the noise, but you guys are well aware of what people are saying, the doubt that people have had on this Baltimore Ravens team and even Lamar Jackson for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2024. It's kind of hard not to be aware of that kind of stuff just because the accessibility of the news and all that stuff with Twitter and everything. But I said it in a podcast before, but somebody's got to be the villain. Patrick Mahomes is the guy with the media. Everybody loves him. The Chiefs, everyone loves him. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. That's the thing. That's fine. That's not what we are here. We're not that way. We're fine being the villain.
Stavros.
Yeah, we're blue collar guys, man. We work hard. We're just gonna let our play do the talking, like Roquan says. We don't need all that other stuff. That stuff's irrelevant. They can say all they want, but you got to play the game on Sunday at 3:00, and by 6:00, we'll answer all their questions. I love that.
And yeah, honestly,
Boom.
They got me fired up.
Mic drop right there.
Are we gonna have?
I'm about to do some more push-ups after that.
Wait, did you even do push-ups?
No, I was.
Hey,
there was a lot of chaos going on before the show.
We know there's chaos, but before we get into more chaos, Rock, I know you're sitting down here and you've been obviously with the team and seeing all this develop here, and you've been in the locker room of guys talking about it. And yes, I agree with Nick. You're exactly right, Nick, that this team wants to go to work. But Rocco, you have that sense, and even after it was a great feeling last week, right? Everyone's excited, they're happy. You could just sense there was not a satisfied team. This was a team that is looking to do more.
Yeah, and they've even said that in their press conferences this week. And Nick, this is where I want to bring you back in and ask you this question. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were on the team the last time these two teams, the Ravens and Chiefs, faced off, the last regular season meeting, correct?
Yes, I was 2021.
So that game was like, I mean, it went viral because it was the Lamar, you want to go for it? Yeah, coach, I want to go for it. And Lamar goes for it. And they get the first down. They ice the game. They beat the Chiefs for the first time since Lamar Jackson's been in the league. And Patrick Mahomes, he does have a 3-1 career record in the regular season against Lamar, but this is the playoffs. It's a different stage. And I agree with Kevin. Lamar Jackson has played some fantastic football this season. Nick, what I want to ask you is, from that moment, the confidence level in Lamar Jackson, I mean, I thought that was so cool to see as someone, from the outside looking in. For you, what did that moment mean to this franchise, this team finally beating the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes? And how much have you seen your starting quarterback grow since that moment there on the field and what he says in the locker room as well?
Yeah, Lamar's definitely a totally different player now than he was. I think that's the kind of guy Lamar is. He wants the ball in his hands at the end of the game. He wants to be the one responsible for that, and we love it. Like when you're a guy like me, I'm long snapper. I don't do a whole lot. You only play like 8 plays a game. When it's like punt or we're going out for punt to ice the game, or they're going to go for it, and you got your quarterback like, no, we're fucking taking. Give me the ball. Yeah. We're going to get this first down. And we're going to fucking win this game. I love that. That's exactly what I want to see, and I feel like that's contagious. And I think John is kind of a symbol of that as well. And the sense that we're not going to leave it up to them. We're better than them, and we're gonna do it right now. That was a huge monkey off our backs, beating them first time since Lamar's been in the league. But like I said, Lamar now is a totally different player than he was then. He's matured a lot. He's grown a lot. He's expanded his capabilities as a quarterback. He's throwing the ball a lot better. He's standing in the pocket more. He's making better decisions. And he still has that same fire. He still wants the ball when the game's on the line. Yeah. And I think this Sunday we're gonna see that, full force and taking over.
And we all hope that's the case. And I think you're right. I think that's what people love is you can love or hate what happens in the results, but the fire that this team has and the fire that Lamar Jackson has, and that the belief when we had Mark Clayton on was that on Monday already?
Yeah, Monday.
We had Mark on Monday, and he was talking about the evolution of John Harbaugh as a coach too, from the style, and then going through all these moments. Then the team evolves. Lamar becomes the head coach here, Lamar becomes the quarterback that you change your whole offense around, and that's a big decision for a head coach to make. And you do it, and then this team believes in everything, and then you bring in another guy. It's really like an element of the past Ravens to what the future Ravens are going to be.
I think this puts it extremely well. Harbs, if they win, will have one with two totally different styles of play. And I think that is extremely impressive. And that's one of those things where this team is, besides, same aspect in they like to play hard-nosed defense. That's going to always be Baltimore's thing. But these are very different. This is a very different team than 2012. And I think that is a testament to how Harbaugh has taken this adaptation to, okay, how are we going to best suit, not necessarily here's how I coach, here's the play style I run. Let's get the players to do, let's get the players that can do this. He gets his best players, I feel like, and he's like, okay, how can I put them in the best situation and spot to succeed? And that's why you see him have so much success over such a long period of time, running so many different styles of football throughout the year.
Yeah, I was actually doing, some research for Sunday show, for our pregame show. Honestly, I'm starting to believe that there's no reason why the Ravens can't blow out the Chiefs on Sunday. Just based off of what we're like, Ravens have scored over a full touchdown more average per game than the Chiefs have. We saw the yard numbers. We saw how the Chiefs got their asses kicked by the Raiders this year. Like, I just feel as if there is look, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's the playoffs. We know it's a whole different ball game, but there is it just wouldn't shock me if there was a blowout by the Ravens this weekend. It really wouldn't.
I mean, I think everyone in Baltimore would love that.